A long-term review of this Lectron Billetron Big Air Pro with an acceleration rod. Hey, what's up guys, Rado here, and I've been running this Lectron Billetron Big Air for well over 9 months now. If you remember, I installed it back in January. I'm gonna show you the video right here, and I was really impressed how this bike ran.
Not a second. Alright, first gear. Pretty much on idle. I just give it a little throttle, no clutch at all. You touch the throttle. Let's do the same in the second gear. Second.
As you can see from the video, January the bike ran really good. I had no complaints. I had to adjust the carburetor a little bit in the beginning to fit my bike because there was a little misunderstanding between me and Lectron. But after that, bike ran really good, spark looked really good, and I had a nice and crisp bottom, and it went to high RPM. I could also run this bike for a slow technical riding and the same setting for also a little bit of a motocrossy riding, you know, go on a gas, and this thing had really good bottom, mid, and also top. So I was really happy. But it was January, cold outside. My elevation was 2,000 to 4,000, and I really wanted to know if the bike will run really good if we change all that. If we go to July or August, if we go to 10 to 12,000 elevation, and if we change all the conditions. So Lectron is promising to give you that self-adjusting carburetor that will, you know, respond to the elevation, air density, temperature, and all those things. So this video I want to talk long term.
Alright guys, so we are testing Lectron Billetron in a high elevation. In a hot day we go from like 6,000 to about 10,000 maybe. So far bike runs really good. We're gonna take it up and down the elevation and see how we feel at the end of the ride. This is a TBI, so we're gonna be comparing also how these two bike runs. And this one has a Keen with really good jetting from JD Jetting, and that thing is a 4-stroke. We don't play with that guy. This thing starts really good and runs amazing from the bottom.
One important thing we have to talk about regarding this carburetor is the outside adjustability, a little bit tiny adjustability on the power jet and also on the torque jet. So the torque jet is something you have right on the bottom. That initial response that you have when you hit the throttle, maybe from idle to quarter or half throttle, you can really fine-tune that response with this screw right here. This screw is very sensitive. You don't need to go a lot of turns. You pretty much do quarter turn at a time, or maybe even sometimes 1/8 of a turn to really dial in that bottom power. And guys, I have to tell you, I was impressed and I was really surprised how much this carburetor responded to that screw on the bottom when I took it to the 10-12,000 elevation. It ran good. With the setting I had from the winter, everything ran good, but I just felt that I can have a little bit better, crisper bottom. And that's exactly what this little screw is for. You put your screwdriver in it, or you can just turn it with your finger, and a little adjustment, quarter turn here or quarter turn there, really makes the difference. First 10-15 minutes riding at this high elevation, I was a little bit riding around, you know, first, second gear, and it felt good, but it wasn't 100%. So I was like, let me just play with that screw a little bit. And I adjusted it quarter turn out. It got maybe a little bit worse, so then I went back and I did quarter turn in, and it was way better. So then I rode it a little bit like that, and then I did another quarter turn, so I went half turn from what it was originally. And I'm telling you guys, this thing was so crisp and responsive and ran amazing everywhere. All the RPM, first, second, third gear, just going lagging on the trails or going a little bit on the gas. Now at that same ride, we also had a 2024 fuel-injected TX. That is the latest and the greatest from KTM family. And we also had another KTM 300XC that was 2019 year that had a well-jetted key and carburetor. And of course we were swapping the bikes. There was my friend Jay Clark and Jim, their bikes, and we were riding, swapping the bikes, and everybody was trying different bikes. And I was also riding all these latest and greatest, my 17 with Electron and Jim's 19 with a Keen. And I'm not kidding, guys. You can ask Jay Clark. He's probably coming with a similar video. This bike was really on par with everything else there. It was a little bit better than 2019, had a little bit better response and also a little bit better suspension because I have my air fork down and I have expansion chamber, so it felt better in the front in the suspension, and the response and how punchy and peppy that bike is was better than the 2019 300XC with a Keen. Now when I jump on the 2024 TX fuel injected TBI bike, that thing was always crisp and ran really good, and it felt a little bit smaller and a little bit sharper in a turn, and the suspension was really good. But guys, honestly, I didn't see a big difference in the power. I didn't see a big difference in the power delivery. So this thing, this Lectron really feels like it's fuel injected. Like it has such a nice transition and it pulls everywhere and it gives you this really smooth but strong power. It also has a punch when you go on the gas. So I was really impressed. And honestly, guys, I did not see the reason to ever sell this bike and go for 2024 or even 2025 new KTM or Husky dirt bikes. It just felt really good. And really the difference, of course there is a difference, a new bike, it feels better, but the difference is not big. It's not big enough for me or for you, for anyone who has this bike to sell these bikes and go for a brand new one. You're really not getting that much of a difference. These 2017 through 2019 KTMs and Huskies were really good bikes. And if you throw this carburetor, this Lectron Big Air Billetron Pro with that accelerator rod and then adjustability outside, you can dial it in, you can set it up, and this bike is amazing, runs really good. I really recommend, guys, if you have these bikes or if you can pick one up, go for it, keep it, ride it for a long time and just have a smile on your face when you take these older bikes on the trail and you keep up absolutely on everything with the brand new, latest and the greatest. Alright guys, so overall I'm impressed with Lectron. I definitely recommend you guys to check out this Billetron Big Air Pro with that accelerator rod that can be adjusted from outside. It really responds well to those little adjustments. I was really surprised how well it works and it didn't give me any trouble. Let me try to start it now. It didn't run for weeks. I just turned on the gas. It just runs amazing, I have to tell you. Now it's still summer with 2 days like 90 degrees. I'm sitting out here, there is a sun shining outside, and this thing will run the same here. Then it ran in the 10 or 12,000 elevation, the same way it ran in January also. And if I feel a little difference in my bottom crispiness, I will just adjust this screw, half a screw in or out, and I will get it dialed in 100%. So definitely Lectron, great product. You guys check it out. I'm sure you're gonna love it. All right, my friends, well, that's about it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this long-term review of this Lectron Billetron. Let me know below in the comments if you run this carburetor or if you have any question. And don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.